very much. It's great to be here, and I'm going to use a little technology here. I have my laptop, and so this is not a visual aid speech, though I am going to have a chance to use some of those and talking about. I want you to know that as a teacher in the Chicago Public Schools, I must disclose it before I speak, that I am a teacher. I teach 650 students each week, 650 of the nearly 500,000 children in the Chicago schools. And I want to speak tonight on their behalf because they are under attack. They're under attack by, believe it or not, our own mayor, our governor, our state representatives and senators. And this is not only happening in Chicago, but it's happening across the country. I can't help but turn on the news and hear about a school in Orange County, New Jersey on my way over here, or the Los Angeles Unified School District, or those in Kansas City who are about to slash a quarter of the jobs, who are underfunded, who are in great debt right now. Now, my goal today is to, before the end of today's speech, to have you ready to not only raise your hand, but to lift a finger, just one finger, and make a difference in the Chicago schools by helping fund the Illinois schools. I'm going to have an apple or a gold star or a chance for you to find out how it is to move to the head of the class by listening to my talk and taking some action today. Right now, the CEO of the Chicago Public Schools, Ron Huberman, has come out saying that there is about $900 million deficit in the educational system in Chicago. $900 million. And that his solution is to cut essential classroom services, to raise the classroom size to 37 students, to cut 10 to 20% of the workforce, and to limit the reading and math initiatives that have starting to take root in our school system. I believe that those numbers are not being all truthful, and that the citizens of Chicago and citizens of the state of Illinois need to hear some of the hard truths. To the Tribune and WBEZ this weekend mentioned that there's a $13 billion shortfall in the state of Illinois. Governor Quinn has, and the state legislature, has slashed pension funds to public workers. Chicago teachers slashed $1.2 billion of our pension over the next 5 years. And yet there still is this budget shortfall. I received a letter from my state senator saying that she's going to go down to Springfield this last week and move through a budget, but that there isn't any real serious solution to our funding of our educational system, that we are underfunded and that the schools are broken in Illinois. The truth is that in Chicago right now, $500 million, $500 million are being paid to bankers in interest on money that's been borrowed over the last 15 years under Mayor Daley. Each year we are underfunded. Each year we have to borrow. And so now the chronic concern is that there is $500 million. Another $250 million, $250 million here locally is spent in TIF money. TIF money that is tax incremental funds. And to put it in clear layman's terms, it's a neighborhood tax that goes into a fund that allows the alderman and the mayor to create initiatives for that particular neighborhood. But what we don't know as citizens is that takes money that would normally, from that neighborhood, your taxes, gone to your neighborhood schools. And so all across the city, over $250 million is being put into an alternative budget that is discretionary funds for our aldermen and our mayor. Money that is supposed to be funding our essential school services for 500,000 Chicago public school children. The board also has about $700 million in outside vendor contracts. We hear about that in another way when it's called privatizing our schools. $700 million. Again, I bring the Trib, the WBEZ, who recently have done articles, and the Reader, a very well-recognized investigative journalism weekly in Chicago is a report on the three things I've just mentioned to you. The money going to the bankers instead of our students, the TIF money that's diverted away from our schools and permanently moved away so that we're constantly going to have a hole in our pocket in our school system, and the money that's paid to privatized and private groups. The last 5 years, last 6 years, the mayor has pledged to open 100 new schools and to close underperforming and failing schools. In Chicago right now, 7, 8 schools on the south side were under attack to be closed and have been closed in the neighborhood that was planned for the Olympics. Neighborhood groups like COCO, the Concerned Citizens from Kenwood neighborhood, GEM, families and parents, Pure, a group, parents for the restructuring of education, have all reported that schools in the line of fire of the planned Olympics were closed, were deemed unacceptable, so underperforming or underutilized. And so today, my challenge for you is to not only raise your hand as a good student, as a teacher asking you, but to, as we look at our fingers, we see that we push our hands together. This is what we look like when we all come together. But I'm going to just ask you to raise your finger and to log on to tonight, no237.org. No237.org is an opportunity for you to be heard by your state legislator. I have a card for each of you. You take one and pass it down. I'll have my computer available at the break. No237 is a grassroots effort by parents and teachers at 100 schools in Chicago to speak directly to our state and local representatives and to the governor to support education and proper funding of education in Illinois. May 7th, this Friday, is the last day of the spring session of our General Assembly, and your voice, by touching the button of the computer and sending a letter to them, will make a difference. I want to thank you very much.